What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rob coming with another video. Now this is a special video. This person got a lot of you. He got me into the hobby. If you don't know him, after this video, make sure you go to his channel, check out the first video of this discussion, and also follow him. Let him know that Rob sent you. It is an honor to have him on this channel. So without further ado, Mr. Riley from Fish Keeping Jamaica. How's everything out there in Jamaica?
Hi Rob.
Fish keeping?
Yes. Thank you for inviting me on your channel. Right now, as usual, every year everyone is kind of nervous as to how the active hurricane season will be this year. As you all know, we experienced tropical Atlantic hurricane season, so we are currently experiencing like introduction to that, precursor to that, in which they call the May rains, and then come June 21st, the hurricane season starts and end November the 30th. My fish keeping hobby is coming on really well. I'm just loving it more and more each day.
Now, Mr. Riley, with you being the king of Jamaica's fish keeping, what do you feed your fish? Homemade foods or manufactured foods?
Because of busy schedule, family work, church, and my hobby, I prefer manufactured food. It's easy, and to me, it's really convenient.
Now I see why you have a wonderful, beautiful collection of fish. Now, where I live, a lot of people like to spray for certain insects to get rid of them. Now, those certain insects are the ones that I like to feed a certain fish of mine, and it worries me. Should I be worried about that, Mr.
Well,
Riley?
in Jamaica, the only spraying of insect done is that of the owner of properties, except there is a concern in farming areas that relates to some out of some insects or parasite going out of proportion, in which they will send out a team to actually spray the areas. Other than that, we have seasonal mosquito which comes around this time of the year. Whenever the mosquito population is too high, however, the spray van actually pass through, but that doesn't really affect my fish stock nor the insects. With regards to feeding your fish insects around your yard, if you are cognizant of the fact that the area have been sprayed with insecticide or pesticide or any chemical whatsoever, I would not advise you to use those insects, bugs or whatever to feed your fish, because your fish will eventually die because of poisoning. So no, I would stick to either growing your own culture or purchasing manufacturing.
And I see your point on that, Mr. Riley. Now, do you have any ideas to what I should do in order for me to have those certain homemade foods for my fish?
Well, as far as that is concerned, you could try culturing brine shrimp and infuser. Infuser is really easy to make. I'll explain later. In Jamaica, brine shrimp are not readily available. The use of Daphnia is more popular. Infuser can be made easily. You could get some nice leafy lettuce, some nice leafy lettuce, put in a container with water from your aquarium and allow to get some sunlight for a few days, and then you after that period of time do occur, what happens is that you can remove the leaf from the water, right? If I be careful straining it, because when you strain it, it actually you might take out some of the infusion, so you actually hand pick out some of those vegetative matter, right? The thing about the infusion is that it gives a little tangy smell. It really smells really awful, right? So whenever I'm using it, I tend to use it outside in my pond. It will have a foul smell, as I said before, and basically that's it. It is important that you feed your fish with live food sparingly, because live food is rich in protein, right? You can put a little tip of the water in your fish tank, in a container with fish, in your fish tank or pond, and the fish will actually chase down the infuser, which is some small organism which actually runs in the water, right? This type of food, however, works best with the small fish, such as molly, swordtail, guppies, those small fish. To me, that's what I think, because they are so small. To feed large fish with this type of food, it will take a whole lot, so therefore it will keep you really busy, right? You could even try culturing mosquito larvae. That, however, will require quickness, because you don't want a mosquito larvae to develop into mosquito themselves, and that now you might have a problem, right?
Now, Mr. Riley, that would be an awesome project to start. How do you feel about manufactured foods while we're at it?
Manufactured food, as mentioned before, works best for me, especially during periods at work, right? You know, I'm a teacher, so therefore, it's a 9 to 5 job, right? I do get holidays, right? So during my holidays, I will like go and see if I can get some live food around the yard. But other than that, I feed my fish in the night, right? Once per day, I feed my fish in the night. And sometimes I'm feeding my fish and I can't even see them properly, right? And that's practically me. My schedule is so tight, right? I only get to admire my fish once per week, and as I said, on holidays, right? I know that they are safe, and I try to give them enough food in which they can consume. As you all know, I have a large stock of fish, a good amount of tanks, of ponds, right? So therefore, by the time I'm finished feeding the first pond and move on to probably the second or third pond, when I go back to the first pond, all that food would actually be gone, right? In addition, it would be really difficult to jumpstart into homemade food. I would have to starve them for a bit. Yes, I would have to starve them for a bit from my manufactured food, and then I would eventually start to introduce them to regular, live food, because what happens is that fish become so accustomed to the type of food in which they actually consume, that what you find is that they will actually starve themselves, not eating the food that you give them, the new food that you give them. And I have had problems with my cars giving me this
Mr.
problem.
Riley, you do have some solid points.
I once did some homemade food infusion. My fish refused to consume it, and the water remained stink and cloudy for a long while. I only use this type of food when feeding any form of fries, right? And and small fish stock, like very small fries, right? Very small fish, right? Especially like my goldfish, right? To me, they have not yet become accustomed to manufactured food, right? So therefore, it's easy for me to actually introduce the whole idea of live food to them.
Now, Mr. Riley, but what would your fears be on feeding manufactured food to your fish? Do you use manufactured foods when you don't feel that the fish is going to take time?
I fear my fish becoming too hooked on manufactured food, yes. When I do run out of manufactured food, that is, they refuse to consume any substitute, right? Yes, I do run out at times, right? And that's why I'm so happy I have mostly ponds where the fish can munch on algae and water lice and other microscopic organisms that seem to actually live on the dead plant matter that exists in the pond. That's one benefit of having a pond.
Now, Mr. Riley, do you have any suggestions or any kind of ideas for those people that live all around the world that don't see insects yearly? What should suggestions be to help them
In regards to those persons who live around the world that don't really have insects, around the yard available to them, they can make their own food, right? Now, they can grow their own food, whether it be live food or they actually make their own food. Remember, some fish are vegetarian. Yes, so you can cut up the lettuce. You can actually use cucumber. Yes, you boil some water. You dip the cucumber. You place the cucumber, the vegetable, like what is shown on the screen now, into the warm water just for a short bit, and then now you take it out. Probably you can put a string through it, take something and stick a hole in it, put a string through it, and just hang it down into the tank for a bit, not for long, and in pieces, right? Like for a bit, and the fish will come and eat. Especially if you have like catfish, pickle, those type of fish, and they would actually nibble on it, right? Also, snails love that. So you could use the cucumber, you could use the lettuce, you could actually get some worm culture from the pet store, where you can actually start a worm farm at home. Just like when you have a fish tank, you'd have a container with worms, and the whole idea of doing a worm farm is available online. So you can do that. You can start a worm farm. You can use if you have cichlids, you can buy tilapia fillets, and you can cut it up and actually mash it up based with some other ingredients, and you can actually make your own food. And you can, as I said before, you can use green water, and you can use the infuser, and you can do what you call it now, brine shrimp. You can buy the brine shrimp at the pet shop, and the instruction is there as to how to get the brine shrimp to actually hatch and work. So there are many different ways in which you can actually go about getting food for your fish, whether you live in a cold region or warm region. And after you do all these different type of food, you can actually freeze them and compartmentalize them if any work or so, right? Put them in compartments. So you have that this for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so therefore you take them out, tar them out a little bit, and place them in there. You don't really need much time for, let's say, feeding some curries, because curries, they like cool water. So therefore that would be kind of good for them. So that's just my
And
thing.
now, Mr. Riley, with you having manufactured foods and feeding that to your fish, what are your words about the additives? What intel can you tell me
Additive
about
exists
those?
in every food, even the ones in which humans do take, right? Even the normal dog food in which you feed your dog, right? I believe, however, that careful research should be done before introducing your fish food to your fish stock. What you think?
I completely agree with you, Mr. Riley.
Thanks for having me on your channel, Rob. I appreciate it very much. It is hoped that if you have missed part 1 of this video, you will check out the link below. Respect, brother. FKJ out. Big up, Rob93. I wish to have a more in-depth discussion with you on your fish keeping experience somewhere down the line. Not in the far distance, but somewhere soon. Thank you very much again. Nice in the background is my school getting ready for devotion. So bye bye. Riley out.
So there you have it, everyone. Fish keeping King Riley. We appreciate you for on the channel. It's awesome. It was an honor to have you. You stay up, my man. I look forward to work with you again. It was simply amazing, and you did awesome on everything, and you are a true, genuine person. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Mr. Riley.